Thank you for joining me on Morning Light. My name is Michael Wolch, and we have an interview. We have in the studio right now a Winnipeg singer, Andriana Chuchman, and she is from Winnipeg, received her bachelor's degree in voice performance from the School of Music at U of M, and she's a graduate of the Ryan Opera Center and the Lyric Opera of Chicago. She's performed on some of the greatest stages around North America, and she's back in Winnipeg, her hometown, to perform with Manitoba Chamber Orchestra coming up on December 7th. It's a concert called Christmas from Winnipeg to Ukraine, and she's live in the studio with me now. She's not going to sing, unfortunately. I asked her to sing, but that was a nervous laugh. So welcome. welcome to Classic 107. You've been here before. I know you were on Sarah Joe's show. It's a pleasure to have you here on my show as well.
Thanks. It's great to be here.
Mm-hmm. So you make your base out of Winnipeg, and you do some touring across many of the great opera stages in North America. Tell us a little bit about your background. I know a lot of people from Winnipeg who will be familiar with your background, but for those of us and those of the people that aren't, tell us a bit how you got into singing.
Well, I grew up in Garden City.
That's why you started singing. Yeah, Garden City. City.
There's a little bit of background.
Okay.
But very large Ukrainian population up in the North End. There was even Ukrainian immersion in the Seven Oaks School Division at my junior high and high school. And I was surrounded by music. My mom is a pianist. And my dad is a huge music appreciator, ranging from Ukrainian folk things from Ukraine to Leonard Cohen to, So we had quite a bit of variety of music at home. In my early teen years, I was, my sister and I sang together as a Ukrainian duo. She played guitar and we both sang, starting from about 6. I was 6 and she was 8. And
wow.
So we...
what were you called?
Just Olash and Andriana Chuchman, I guess. But yeah, so we the priest at our church at St. Vladimir and Olga's Cathedral, he was over at our house one time and we performed for him and he was like, hey, you guys should sing for this. I don't remember exactly what our first little engagement was, but so we were quite young and we started singing in front of people, whether it was church functions or Ukrainian banquets for various organizations, and then Folklorama, and we actually put out a CD with our producer Danny Sture.
Oh wow! Okay.
And when we were in our teens, so that sort of gave the performance bug, and also I think it added a comfort level to performing in front of people from a very young age. And I also appreciate it because it allows me to blend with another voice, and I think that's. It's almost like an instinct now. I revert back when I have to sing ensembles and things like that. I revert back to singing with my sister Olasha, and just sort of hook in, because we could hook into each other so well that it's really helped me in ensemble singing in opera or concert repertoire.
Yeah, they often say that singing with your sibling is kind of the closest harmony that you can ever have, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, and we were kind of had that in sync thing and similar voices, so it was really easy and I learned so much from that. And so in my teenage years, I started voice lessons with Ruth Enns in the city here and started doing music festival, doing competitions, and got positive reinforcement from that, started winning classes and trophies. And I kind of had no doubt that I was going to sing. I knew I was going to go to school of music. That's sort of where my interests dominated over anything else. And so I went to U of M and studied with Tracy Dahl and still do.
So when did you realize that singing is one thing, but then when you had to learn how to do the performance aspect, the acting and stuff like that? When did you start learning how to say act to do opera?
I think it's very important for opera singers to have that tool. I would venture out and say that I had quite good instincts. In terms of acting, I've always people always said, "Wow, you're really expressive. You have really good instincts for acting," and so it was much more of a natural process for me. That was something that was super easy and something Tracy would say something you can't teach someone sometimes. It's just that sort of natural ability to be in front of an audience and to have that sort of natural innate charm and ability to connect music with with the drama part. And to me, that was something that was very easy, which I feel very fortunate because I think it was more, when I was in university, it was more the theory classes and things like that sort of were
less inspiring.
Less inspiring. They weren't as practical for me. I wanted to just get out there and sing and perform for audiences, and that was much more exciting. But I, of course, appreciate all the education I received.
Well, it's all steps.
Absolutely,
it's all steps to getting there. Yeah,
I would never.
Not
say
many people would make the jump from singing in high school to singing on such a big stage. There's so many different things to learn along the way.
Yeah.
So you've performed at the Met.
I have.
A couple of times. What was it like stepping onto that stage for the first time? Was it a different feeling from stepping onto a different the stages you've been on?
Well, every stage has its history and has its sort of beauty and unique qualities in terms of acoustics or whatnot. So I think the Met, it was such a whirlwind debut for me because I stepped in for Anna Netrebko 2 days before opening, and I had done rehearsals and things like that, so I felt quite ready. But nothing really prepares you for, you are making your debut now, and and walking into that theater on that day of my debut was, I just started crying. It was so emotional and so, I mean, just to know the history of all the singers that had sung there before me, and I knew it was quite an important occasion and
memorable.
Very memorable, absolutely. And I've sung there since about 4 different roles, so I'll be back there next season. So I feel like I have a good relationship with them so far, so it's wonderful.
We're going to talk about the concert coming up here back in Winnipeg. I'm in the studio with Andriana Chuchman, and we're talking, we've just been doing some background about her career so far, and we're going to be talking about her concert coming up. She's in town with the Manitoba Chamber Orchestra December 7th, and it's a concert called Christmas from Winnipeg to Ukraine. Now, the interesting thing about this concert is the conductor, Mark Morash. Now, you have a little bit of history with Mark Morash, which is kind of interesting because you have a connection with him through the San Francisco Opera Company, correct?
I do. One of my first ventures to the opera scene in the United States was auditioning for the Maryland Opera program at the San Francisco Opera Center, which is directly connected with San Francisco Opera. And so I went to New York in 2004, so 12 years ago, and auditioned for Mark and his colleague Sherry, and that was sort of my first meeting with him. And they brought me to sing a couple of to sing at the Maryland program the year after in 2005, and then reintroduced me again in 2006 to sing there again. And so we performed a lovely concert, an opera scenes concert, where I did Clorinda and Blanche and Dialogues of the Carmelites at the Yerba Buena Gardens. It was like a beautiful outdoor, so semi-staged, and that was our first time working together. And so this is, I haven't really seen him since 2006. There was a couple of times we bumped into each other, but so this is, it kind of just sort of happened. We didn't. Yeah. And it's exciting to be in Winnipeg and to
it's a 10-year reunion. 10-year reunion.
Yeah, absolutely. So it'll be fun to collaborate, and I feel like we already have a rapport and know each other. So it'll be, I think, that much more. There won't be any sort of tiptoeing around each other.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Really get into it and totally have fun.
Yeah. Let's talk about the repertoire a little bit. Sure. I know there's going to be some Christmas music. There's one called The Great Miracle, which is a work arranged by Boyd Mackenzie here. You're doing Villa-Lobos, Rachmaninov, and O Holy Night. What can you tell us a little bit about the program that?
Well, I would say the longest feature would be the Mozart Exsultate Jubilate, and that was sort of what I picked first. It's a piece. Quite a standard piece for soprano. This will be my first time singing it, and it's been a piece that I've always wanted to do. I've listened to it; it suits my voice. There's lyrical singing and also a little bit of coloratura singing, some fun runs that sort of actually remind me a little bit of the runs in the Messiah, in Handel's Messiah, that she has to sing and rejoice greatly, and just sort of uses that same that same mechanism in the voice. So I've really enjoyed learning it, and I'm so excited to debut it. And it's a really beautiful, joyous piece. There's 3 movements, so you get sort of a variety within one piece. And so we picked that first, and I thought it was instant, easy choice. And in the second half, I'll be doing the Rachmaninov Vocalise, which is a really gorgeous, calm but powerful melody. Just you can sit back and just enjoy sort of the chord progressions and the melody. It's just gorgeous. And then we chose Mark's idea was to do this 12 Days of Christmas sing-along with the audience. And so so I thought, okay, well, then maybe I can add a couple of carols. And the Great Miracle, which in Ukrainian is called Що то за придиво, I sang in my church choir every Christmas from my early teen years to, well, when I'm in town, if I can, I sing with them, but it has been a while. It's just a beautiful, simple carol, and what makes it special is that it's in a minor key, and you don't hear a lot of carols in minor keys, and it's just stunning. It's one of my favorite Ukrainian songs. Never mind just during the Christmas season. It's just It was one of my favorite things to sing, and actually probably took the cake. It was my favorite thing to sing in church.
So I want to hear it right now.
Okay.
The way you describe it, I just want to hear it now.
Oh, good. Well, come on the 7th and hear it. It's really stunning, and Boyd. It's got by Vasyl Barvinsky, and it was arranged for the MCO by Boyd Mackenzie. And then Adam wrote "Oh Holy Night," as a lot of us have heard that many times during the season.
And probably didn't know who wrote it.
Well, yeah, it's a
standard.
It's a standard, and it'll be sung in English, and it's a beautiful, carol, and that we all know, and one of my favorites to sing during the season. So
nice.
Yeah.
Well,
there's the rundown.
Pleasure to have you in the studio.
Thank
for sure.
you.
And I've been chatting with Andriana Chuchman. She is going to be performing with the Manitoba Chamber Orchestra. December 7th is the day, and it looks like a wonderful concert. Again, thank you for coming in. Enjoy your time here in Winnipeg until you hit the road again.
Thanks so much.
And we'd love to have you back.
Thanks so much. Looking forward to seeing you on the 7th.
All right. Take care.
Thanks.